Whilst on a recent trip to France, we had a little time to explore after hiding and filming for the vlog for that trip. Only 17 minutes by car from the place that the last piece of jewellery was hidden, Ypres was somewhere I've always wanted to see, and with only 17 minutes, I did a last-minute dash there. Ypres, though, needed its own vlog. We didn't have all the time in the world to see all the sights, so I chose Sanctuary Wood, which has a maze of original trenches exactly as they were in the Great War. There were also many treasures that had been recovered from the fields around the battle sites. You can't visit this place and fail to notice the peace and the tranquility and the beautiful sadness all wrapped into one. It is a beautiful place, although it would never replace the ability to bring a loved one home or indeed the certainty and closure of identification. It is a place you can come and remember a loved one lost in the Great War, or simply come to reflect upon the enormity of what these young men did back then to give us the liberty that we all assume today. Walking around the graves, I was saddened to see the vast number of soldiers that were never identified from all over the world and only bear the inscription "Known unto God" on headstone after headstone. This is one of many memorials around Ypres, and seeing just one and knowing there are many, many more starts to bring home the enormity of what these men sacrificed over 100 years ago. I am now going to afford you the peace and tranquility of your own reflection in this beautiful place. Not far up the road, you come to Sanctuary Wood itself, which is a place bringing the reality of conditions these men lived in, enabling you to walk through the trenches our soldiers built and lived in during the heat and the cold, just behind the front line with the enemy just across the field. There are a number of sites, but this one remains pretty much untouched. There is a museum of lots of all bits and pieces from the battleground of Flanders. As I walked through the trenches, I noticed that they weren't deep enough to cover someone walking upright, and I'm not tall, so the soldiers would have crouched down pretty much most of the time. The floors were rough and uneven, and just made of wood on top of earth. In the winter it was plain to see how these floors became mud baths. Our visit followed weeks and weeks of heat wave after heat wave, so the ground was pretty solid and uneven, but solid. I was also quite shocked at the distance between the front line and that of the enemy, and it was actually a lot closer than I'd imagined. And although there was a lot of trench to walk through, when you finally reached that front line, it felt like it suddenly appeared too fast. And maybe that's how they all felt back then. So come with me for a walk through the trenches to the front line, and again I'm going to afford you the tranquility to reflect as we navigate through the maze of these trenches to that front line.
they go on, and they go on, and they go on.
In Flanders Fields the poppies blow, between the crosses row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky the larks still bravely singing fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead, short days ago, we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders Fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe, to you from failing hands we throw. The torch be yours and hold it high. If we break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders Fields.